Hello and welcome to Wednesday Bible Study. I've got the sunshine pouring in through my window. That's nice and warm, but it's cold outside. So today we're going to talk about the Old Testament lesson from Kings, which is a reading for this Sunday, Transfiguration Sunday, the story of Jesus being on top of the mountain with Moses and Elijah and his disciples, and Jesus being transfigured into this glowing white figure. And on Sunday, I'll talk about one of the primary, ideas about this is the fact that the history of our faith is an evolutionary one. It starts out as we go through the Old Testament with the old prophets like Moses, and then Joshua, and then Elijah and Elisha. And then who do we see on the Mount of Transfiguration? Jesus with Moses and Elijah. And who's left at the end of the whole business? Just Jesus. So not only does this seem to be historically and theologically evolutionary, it is the same for us in our personal faith and in our individual and community connection to God for us in Jesus Christ. It continues, I believe, to be an evolutionary process. And one of those connections is made, again, through this story that in the Old Testament from 2 Kings chapter 2, the story of Elijah passing the mantle of prophecy off to Elisha. And the two of them are traveling together, and they start off in the story in Bethel. And Elijah says, well, you got to go. I have business to take care of. I'm going to be leaving, And Elisha says, no, I'm going to go with you. And then the next stop is Jericho. The scene is repeated. Elijah says, Elisha, you got to go. I got business to go. I have business to attend to. Elisha says, no, I'm not going to leave you alone. I'm going to go with you. Then they get to the Jordan River. And Elijah parts the waters of the Jordan so he and Elisha can cross. That reminds us of whom? Well, it reminds us of Joshua, who also parted the waters of the Jordan River so the people of Israel could cross into the promised land. Moses significantly, conspicuously was not with them because God was angry at Moses and didn't let him go. But prior to that, of course, we know that Moses parted the waters of the Red Sea so the people of Israel could go through. So there are connections. There are connections in this story from Moses to Joshua to Elijah to Elisha on to Jesus Christ. Our faith is a journey and an evolutionary, changing, transforming, transfiguring journey. And just an interesting point, I've been yammering, I guess, long enough. An interesting point in conclusion here today, that you gotta love this. You gotta love this Bible of yours. So, what has happened is, again, Elijah and Elisha are at Bethel, Jericho, Jordan. Elijah ends up getting carried off into heaven. And one of the few characters, maybe the only character in the Bible who doesn't die but gets carried off into heaven. Now, there's no word of how Moses dies. He just kind of seems to disappear. So we're not sure about Moses, but we know explicitly that Elijah was carried off into heaven, leaving Elisha now in his stead. And at a last request, Elisha is given a double portion of prophetic powers and influence. So off Elisha goes, retracing his steps, Jordan. Jericho is at his stop in Jericho. He does a nice thing and makes the bad water good to drink. And then he stops in Bethel. You got to read this book. So here's the story of what happens in Bethel with Elisha. He went up from there to Bethel, and while he was going on the way, some small boys came out of the city and jeered at him, saying, "Go away, bald head, go away, bald head." When Elisha turned around and saw them, he cursed them in the name of the Lord. Then 2 she-bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys. This is the word of the Lord. So anyway, interesting stories, interesting concept about how our faith is a journey, an involving, transforming, transfiguring journey. That's all I got. Stay warm, keep the faith, use your head. We'll have church in-person worship this Sunday, 8 o'clock and 10:30. Masks and social distancing are required. Last Sunday we had 25 people at 8 o'clock and 20 people at 10:30, which wasn't bad considering it was like 5 billion below. And it's supposed to be cold again this Sunday, so don't rush out. Stay safe, do the smart thing, and know that even if you're just connecting with us virtually, that we are still together as a community of faith, and the Lord is with us all. Thank you. Have a great day, and God bless you all. Amen.